I think it's been said, obviously my brother and his family can't make it over here given the impending delivery of another Bern into the world. But they did send some words, so I just wanted to read those out as well. So, we're so sorry and gutted we can't all be there in person to celebrate this special day with you both, but we know you'll have the best day ever with all your friends and family. You're such a great couple that are a perfect match. You complement each other so well and push each other to be the best version of yourselves in all aspects of your life. Annie, thanks for being the best little sister and sister-in-law. You've achieved so much, and great to see the wonderful lady you've grown into. We've had a lot of fun over the years and some not so memorable nights out in Newcastle, Birmingham and London. We're sure you look absolutely beautiful today as always, which I think we can all agree she does. Ben, it was great to meet you finally last year. Thanks for looking after our little sister so well and being her training partner in crime. You aren't too bad for a Liverpool fan, apparently. We wish you both a married life full of love, happiness and fun, and we for sure will have belated celebrations when we see you next. Sending lots of love, hugs and kisses from the other side of the world, and we'll be raising a glass to you all.
Good afternoon, everyone. Please be seated and make yourselves comfortable. Apart from you, you need to stay. Stay. Let me start by wishing you all a very, very warm welcome and thank everyone for being here today to share in such a happy occasion. My name is Penny, and I'm here today to host this very special ceremony on behalf of Ben and Annie, Paul and Val. As Annie's mum and dad, you have safely delivered her down the aisle. Thank you, Paul. You've been there for her as she took her first steps, said her first words, and no doubt waited up for her after a night's out to make sure she was safely home on a few occasions, and generally been her superheroes. You are both here beside her now as she takes her first steps into her new married life with Ben. Do you both accompany her here today with your love and your blessing? We do. Marvellous. Thank you. You can sit. That's it. Marvellous. You can hold hands if you want. You don't need to, but you can. I know from Ben and Annie how important it is to them to be able to stand here today surrounded by their family and their dearest friends to help celebrate this union and the love they have for each other. A couple of family members who can't join us, as they are in New Zealand, will be eagerly awaiting a copy of the video. Greg and Emma and Freddie, everyone give them a big wave into this camera. It's a shame they couldn't get video link, but never mind. Uh-oh. Can just about make out my words. Special thanks go to Nick, Phil and Matt, our best men, Kate, Emily, Jess and Libby, our beautiful bridesmaids, Sammy, the cutest page boy ever, ably supported by his lovely assistant and mum, Katie. And Lottie, a lovely friend. Where's she gone? There she is. And our vocalist today. Thank you all. Let's also take a moment to remember those that cannot be with us today. Annie's grandmother, Margaret, known for her bright red lipstick and her inability to let anybody pay for anything. Annie's granddad, John, who Annie would have loved to have known better, but who sadly passed away when she was just about 5. And also Annie's grandma, Josie, who also passed away during Annie's childhood. We never lose our loved ones. They never disappear from our lives, but live on in our hearts and our treasured memories every day. Today is a celebration of commitment, of friendship, of family, and of two people who have found each other. Love is often described as an emotion we can't control, one that overwhelms logic and common sense. It cannot be found by searching for it or by passionately wishing for it. It is a kind of fortunate accident, and no matter how it's found, it is the most wonderful of all things in life. If you are very lucky, you will find someone who can completely turn your world around, someone who you can share your very soul with. And they absorb everything you say and want to know even more, your hopes, your dreams, even the disappointments life has thrown at you. And for Ben and Annie, love blossomed for them in different ways and perhaps at different times. But from what I've been told, the attraction was there from the very first meeting, even if one of them, Ben, was completely oblivious. They first met at Birmingham Triathlon Club, where Annie spotted Ben straight away, but struggled to catch his eye as she was always out in front of the swimming lane and Ben was always at the back. Annie thought he was just being coy and perhaps a little shy. But as Ben has said, Annie was the much stronger swimmer, and despite his twice-weekly training sessions before work, he never did get to swim in the front lane with her. But after Annie suggested an open water swim to the team members and only Ben turned up, it was clearly the start of something quite special for both of them. They finally had what the rest of us would call a normal date that didn't involve some sort of Olympic challenge, unless, of course, you count the game of crazy golf, which incidentally resulted in a draw, no doubt frustrating the life out of both of these people. They began spending more and more time together, feeling like they'd known each other forever, and finding it increasingly hard to be apart from one another. It definitely helped that neither of them can sit still. They share the same interests and love exploring places together, trying new foods, along with a few drinks, of course. But what they love most is spending time with their incredible families. And believe it or not, Ben admitted that despite their fitness levels, spending time with their nephews actually tires them both out. Their strength as a couple is their teamwork. They are the best of friends, and whatever challenges they have, they deal with as a team, including the support and care given to each other as they recover from the various broken bones. Whilst we may not describe Ben as the most romantic of individuals, he definitely gave some serious thought to his proposal to Annie and hatched a cunning plan. He managed to book a trip away at Christmas, a tree house with a hot tub. Apparently, Annie would sell her soul for a hot tub. He just needed to find that special ring, and then he could formally ask Paul and Val for their blessing. But despite our most careful planning, the road of life is unpredictable. And before Ben could start his ring search and speak to Paul and Val, who were leaving to spend Christmas in New Zealand, Ben was knocked off his bike and broke his collarbone. And the surgery to fix it was scheduled just 3 days before their Christmas break. But not to be deterred, our brave warrior trudged through the ring shops in his arm sling and telephoned his future parents-in-law, who, of course, had no hesitation in giving their blessing. Unfortunately, there was no going down on one knee when you are fresh out of surgery. So laid up on their sofa and attempting to get the ring out of the box with one arm in a sling, Ben asked Annie to get a present out of the fridge, which was a wrapped bottle of bubbly. And when she turned around, he did the deed and asked her to marry him. And Annie promptly burst into tears of joy. And she said yes, clearly. And here we are today, celebrating the union of this amazing couple. When I asked them both why they had chosen to get married, they talked about their upbringing within strong, loving families and how proud and excited they are about their commitment to spend the rest of their lives together. The most remarkable thing in life is when you meet the person who makes you complete, the person who makes the world a beautiful and a magical place. The person with whom you share a bond so special that it becomes something so pure and so wonderful that you can't imagine spending another day of your life without them. And so it is for Ben and Annie. Their future looks happy, filled with fun and laughter, more travelling adventures, a future family of their own, and fingers crossed, no more broken bones, but definitely more magical memories to be made. Ben, I know what you most love and admire about Annie is that she always sees the very best in people. She has the ability to put everybody she meets at ease. Annie is the most positive person ever. She never lets anything get her down and will always make the best of a situation. You will admire her determination, not just in her sporting life, but in whatever she puts her mind to, you just know she will deliver. And what you especially love is that she has given you so much more confidence in yourself through her unconditional support and encouragement. And Annie, what you most love and admire about Ben is the way in which he always looks out for you, whether that's whilst you're out on your bike or being your spectator and biggest supporter at your races. You definitely admire his perseverance and his modesty. He is an exceptional triathlete who perhaps needs to believe in his own abilities a little more. You love that you stand side by side and face any challenges head on, working so well together as a team, constantly looking out for each other. You actually just love everything about Ben. In your words, a total, all-round, lovely man you just want to spend the rest of your life with. And now, can I ask Libby to join us for her reading, please?
The Art of Marriage. Happiness in marriage is not something that just happens. A good marriage must be created. In marriage, the little things are the big things. It's never being too old to hold hands. It's remembering to say, I love you, at least once a day. It is never going to sleep angry. It is at no time taking the other for granted. The courtship should not end with the honeymoon. It should continue through the years. It is having a mutual sense of values and common objectives. It is standing together, facing the world. It is forming a circle of love that gathers the whole family. It is doing things for each other, not in the attitude of duty or sacrifice, but in the spirit of joy. It is speaking words of appreciation and demonstrating gratitude in thoughtful ways. It is not looking for perfection in each other. It is cultivating flexibility, patience, understanding, and a sense of humour. It is having the capacity to forgive and forget. It is giving each other an atmosphere in which each can grow old. It is a common search for the good and the beautiful. It is establishing a relationship in which the independence is equal, dependence is mutual, and the obligation is reciprocal. It is not only marrying the right partner, it is being the right partner.
Well done, that was great. Ben and Annie are about to make promises to each other, exchange their vows and their rings. But before they do, I'm going to ask you, their family and friends, for a commitment of your own. Will you, family and friends of Ben and Annie, support them in their marriage today and in the years to come, sharing your arms to hug them with, your shoulders to lean on, and your ears to listen? We will. Good job. Nobody's ever said no. Ben and Annie, you came together with shared interests, a blossoming friendship, and a growing connection to each other. You are here today because you are making a choice. You are both choosing each other. You have chosen to be with someone who makes you smile and who makes every day brighter. You are about to make promises to one another that you intend to keep, to take care of one another, to respect and support one another, to continue to be good friends to one another, and to experience a future life together. Drawing on the trust you have placed in me today, I will ask you to speak truthfully from your hearts and pledge your commitment to each other. Do you, Ben, promise to keep Annie as your favourite person, to laugh with her, go on adventures with her, support her through life's tough moments, be proud of her, grow old with her, find new reasons to love her every day, and perhaps try not to take the kitchen sink next time you pack in your bag? I do.
I do.
And do you, Annie? Promise to keep Ben as your favourite person, to laugh with him, go on adventures with him, support him through life's tough moments, be proud of him, grow old with him, and find new reasons to love him every day, and perhaps try to get out of bed a bit quicker on work days?
I do.
Are you sure? Time for the vows. You first.
I'm on first.
You could go first if you want. Yeah. Go on then. Annie will read her vows first.
Ben, from the day we met, I knew there was something special and unique about our friendship. I feel very lucky to have someone who truly looks out for me, is my #1 supporter, and stands by me when life has its challenges. We've endured some pretty tough times together, but no matter what, we work as a team, being positive and pragmatic about the situation, and we always keep each other's spirits high. I can't wait to spend the rest of my life with you, Ben, laughing, smiling, going on mad adventures, and making more lifelong memories with my best friend. I promise to look after you, be the best possible wife I can be, and I will always be proud of you and what you achieve. Here's to forever.
I promise to support, honour and cherish you, and to always be there for you in times of need and in times of joy. I promise to give you everything you need, and that our life together will be packed full of great memories and experiences. I will try to be the inspiration to you that you are to me, and to be as positive and determined as you always are. You are my best friend, and I couldn't be happier that I get to spend the rest of my life with you. I promise to love you and appreciate you as long as we live.
Told you they were both good, didn't I? Ben and Annie will now exchange their rings as a symbol of their everlasting commitment to one another and to mark the start of their future journey together. Your wedding ring is a symbol of your promise to one another. The ring, an unbroken, never-ending circle, is a symbol of committed, unending love. Matt, could you step forward and give Annie's ring to Ben first? Ben, as you place the ring on Annie's finger, could you repeat these words after me? Annie, I give you this ring
Annie, I give you this ring
as a sign of my love for you,
as a sign of my love for you,
that I have chosen only you,
that I've chosen only you,
and I commit my heart to you.
and I commit my heart to you.
Oh, well done. That's very good. Thank you. Annie, as you place the ring on Ben's finger, repeat these words. Ben, I give you this ring
Ben, I give you this ring,
as a sign of my love for you,
sign for my love for you,
that I have chosen only you,
that I have chosen only you,
and I commit my heart to you.
and I commit my heart to you.
Well done. That's great. Get it on there.
Ben's a bit warm.
He has got a three-piece suit on, to be fair. Hello. We're now going to take a moment to sign the commitment certificate to mark this happy occasion. So could we have both mums, Val and Andrea, to join us as our two witnesses, please? If you two want to make your way to the seats.
Yeah.
Ben and Annie, on this day, in front of your loving family and dearest friends gathered here, you have made promises and commitments to each other through the vows you have just taken. You've exchanged rings as a symbol of your never-ending love for each other. May your relationship remain one of love, one of friendship, and one of trust, and may the happiness and joy that you share with each other today be with you always. It is my privilege and my honour to be the very first to say congratulations to you both. Ben, you may kiss your bride.
call us friends. Call us friends. You turn our world upside down. Our hearts are beating with your sound. With you here, always by our side, the movement comes alive. Our future opens wide as you enter our lives and call us friends. You call us friends. Call us friends. You call us friends. You call us friends. To the world we go. No stopping us. World to the world we go. To the world we go. No stopping us. World to the world we go. To the world we go. No stopping us. World to the world we go. To the world we go. No stopping us. World to the world we go. To the world we go. No stopping us. World to the world we go. To the world we go. No stopping us. World to the world we go. To the world we go. No stopping us. World to the world we go. Our future opens wide as you enter our lives and call us friends. We call us friends. We call us
Greg and Emma, we miss you. I hope you're having a lovely time, and very sad that you weren't here today.
So thank you all so much for coming today and spending this special day with Ben and I. I will apologise in advance, one, for boring you for the next 5 to 10 minutes, and B, if I end in a flood of tears at the end of this speech. So I couldn't sit here and not say something, so just a few words before the Byrne and Carters take over the show. Firstly, I just want to say a big thank you to all our nearest and dearest for celebrating this special day with us. Even if it has been SHIT, at least you have some free food and booze. Thank you to the beautiful bridesmaids. You've been a dream, giving me tips and advice when I've been utterly clueless and have just fitted in with everything. I'm hoping I haven't been too much of a bridezilla, but I'm sure I'll find out later when the bubbles are flowing on the dance floor. Also, a special thank you to all, mother and bride and mother and groom included, for organising the lovely bridal afternoon tea, the best hen do, and just helping with all the decorations and the interior decor. It's been fantastic. True lifelong friends and family, I hope you can let your hair down later on the dance floor. Thank you to my in-laws for making me feel very welcome and for helping us both with all the wedding and triathlon malarkey. It's been very much appreciated. I'm sure you'll never forget our first Christmas together. Arriving with a Magnum and Prosecco was a great idea at the time to celebrate the festivities. Needless to say, the majority of the Carters weren't drinking, and in true Annie Byrne style, well now Carter, I consumed a fair bit of the bubbles. As you can imagine, the family games and activities led to some interesting answers from my side that evening. If they didn't know much about me before, they certainly had a very good idea of my character and personality by the end of the evening. Now on to the Byrnes. It goes without saying, your family will always love and support you, and I would honestly say this is truly the case. Despite the highs and lows which all families endure, I'm so grateful and lucky to have family who are so positive, generous, selfless and caring. Mum and Dad who've put up with 5 a.m. swimming alarm clocks, endless hours spent by the pool, spectating sports and some interesting teenage tantrums. I can't thank you enough for your generosity and general advice throughout my life. Although one of my brothers could not make it today, he's eagerly awaiting his second child in New Zealand, I can't forget my 2 fabulous brothers, always looking out for me, being on the end of the phone when I need to rant or talk things through, and always up for a good time and night out, even if we do spend up nearly £400 between us on a London night out. They say go hard or go home. And finally, to my husband. It was a tough decision between lifelong commitment or the Ironman World Champs in Kona, but it's fair to say I think I made the right decision. Ben, you're my absolute rock, my best friend and my soulmate. From day one, we just seemed to click. It helped both being as mad as each other, not being able to sit still and truly living life to the full. I wouldn't change any of our time together. Despite the challenges we have faced, a broken back, collarbone, few A&E scares and COVID, we've made memories of a lifetime. Completing our first Ironman together, competing at the 70.3 Ironman World Champs followed by a trip of a lifetime, and numerous activities and holidays, a list too long to mention here, else I'll certainly bore you all. I think it's fair to say we're pretty well matched and definitely have the same outlook on life. Ben, you're one of the most caring, unassuming and considerate people I know. You know when to listen, but also keep me positive when life gets tough, constantly looking out for me and protecting me when needed. Despite us both being stubborn and independent in our own ways, we work together as a true team and face anything which comes our way. I can't wait to spend the rest of my life with you, and the 4 years to date have been truly special. To the main boss, my husband, Ben. I think Nick, best man, you're up? Yeah?
Right, so as Ben's best man, he's asked me to say a few words. I think he's probably glad it's me and not Matt. I text Matt for a few stories that I could say before this, and I'm not comfortable saying any of them in front of grandparents. So they are not going to go down today. I think he'd be pretty nervous if I started going on about stories to Malia or 10 pints of Guinness Ons in Paddy's Day. Yeah, if you want him, Matt's got all the stories. Just find him after this, the one waving. No, but I've obviously known you, well, long time, 30 years or so now, and it feels like we've come full circle. I mean, messing about on bikes all day as children to pretty much doing the same 2 decades later, hopefully a bit quicker. To the irony of you insisting we dress the same as children, to standing here in the same outfit today, although at least he's marrying someone with a bit of sense of fashion. I mean, there was talk of him getting married in a Hawaiian shirts, or I think it was it green chinos and a pink shirt? So not only have you got him here in a 3-piece suit, but a tie as well. So So I'd be hard-pressed to find a couple more suited to each other, meeting through a passion for triathlon. Passion might be stretching it, I think obsession might be a better description for you both. I mean, the amount of hours you dedicated to it is pretty mind-blowing, to be honest. But let alone finish a triathlon, as Annie said, you've both qualified for the World Championships, so it's all worth training for. It's a far cry from, I remember Ben running in school. I think it was a cross-country race in high school where he picked up a suspicious injury in the first lap. He was about last, I think, as an excuse to get out of that. But as I said, your dedication to training knows no bounds. Somehow both of you managed to go running on your stag and hen do's. Ben was running to Tesco for ibuprofen, so I think it's not all that bad though. When he got out, he was quick to point out that he did run quicker than you, Annie, on his hen do. But then the conversation moved to triathlon, and when it was who was the quickest swimmer, he was pretty quiet in that conversation. Although I think from the stories I've heard of you at the pool, Annie, I don't know how much of it is spent swimming versus arguing with lifeguards, because they've let slow people in your swimming lane. No, all jokes aside though, I know how proud he is of you though, because he always comes back after events and he'll always tell me how many pro-level swimmers you've beaten. I think, to be honest, it's out of jealousy. So I think a bit less time messing about on your bike, a bit more time down the pool, and Annie might teach you a thing or two. No, but it's going to be a quick speech, and just to end it by saying thanks for all this, thanks for organising it all, inviting us all along. It's been great to be part of the day, and as I said, you perfectly suited to each other, so lifetime of happiness to come. So raise your glass to a new couple. Yeah. Not sure who's going next.
Thank you. Okay. Hi. Okay. Well, welcome to you all on behalf of Matthew, Andrea, Paul and myself, because it's truly wonderful to celebrate together on this most fabulous of days for Annie and Ben. And we can now officially, and I'll stress officially, Ben, welcome you into the Burn clan. You know we're slightly crazy, but we're kind-hearted, and I think we've got a good sense of fun. And there's really no running away now, Ben, because even though you've got the prowess and the training to do so, it's not on. We thank the Carter family enormously for welcoming Annie wholeheartedly into their fold, and we know she's so happy and proud to bear the Carter name. As you know well by now, Ben, Annie's loving, loyal, tenacious and feisty, and a zany thirst for adventure. As my mum would have said, she's bursting with vim and vigour. And she'll always continue to push life's boundaries, as we know that you do likewise, Ben. Even at the tender age of 2, ignoring first gentle requests, then sterner warnings, she with utter determination somersaulted over a playground bar, resulting in a rapid hospital dash. Fortunately, no long-term damage. Milk teeth compromised, however, but Annie being Annie, it just led to a deeper drive to perform more daring gymnastic manoeuvres. It's with marvellous fortune and Brat membership that she's met her absolute soulmate in you, Ben. And you've 2 hearts beating in just one mind, testing yourselves endlessly and so deserving of all your prolific athletic accolades and life's adventures. And we stand in awe of your combined talent, positivity and commitment to each other, and wish you boundless love, happiness and marital blessings.
Cool.
Now a few words from me and my little sister Annie. I'll just continue the running theme, excuse the pun. Shame to start without talking about your sporting prowess. If you haven't picked up on the theme, Annie and Ben are truly world-class athletes, touring the world, competing at, crazy events that we all kind of wouldn't even dare do. Looking back, I'd like to think it was your childhood spent as a muddy goalkeeper or a bloodied-nosed cricket wicketkeeper, for me and my brother in the garden that really set you on the path to this, but I think that's us being selfish. Serious note, I think the first time we realised it was the Great Manchester Run, where as a family we all did it, and the 3 siblings, we all did the half marathon. I ended up in the medical tent, and the bookie's favourite, Greg, was beaten by a good 10 minutes by Annie. And I think it was that point we realised you truly had something special. Since then, we've been amazed at what you've achieved on that front, and the dedication and drive that it's taken to get you there. I think it's those qualities that you display in everything you do. Your academic life, your work life. You know, talking about Twigs, and I know there's a few friends here from Twigs. Deputy head girl, there we are. Good to hear. Deputy head girl, Gold Duke of Edinburgh, among the many sporting accolades. As I'd come back from uni every now and again, seeing my little sister Leezy Lou, as she used to be called, turning into multi-talented grown-up Annie was really something special to see. Onwards then to Newcastle, and among your many accomplishments, you're the first one in the family to get a first-class degree, which is very impressive. And that really was without sacrificing any of the extracurricular activities, as we can all attest for the many family trips we spent up there. And Greg in particular wants to say thank you for it being a great location for an Everton away game. And then finally, moving on to Birmingham, and a place on one of the country's most competitive grad schemes. But importantly, also allowed you to meet Ben. And for this part of the speech, I thought, talking about Ben, I'd ask Sam about what his thoughts about Ben would be, about Uncle Ben. And, you know, he avoided any rice puns, thankfully. Just saying, Ben is strong. Which I think was his insightful way of saying you'll make a solid and dependable husband for his Auntie Annie. But yeah, on a serious note, I think we can all agree that yeah, you're about as well matched for my sister as you can be, and it's been lovely to meet your family over the last few weekends and the last couple of years as well, so it's great to have you as part of the family. And from a personal note, as a sporty ex-EY tax professional, welcome to the family. I mean, it's great to have more of us around.
Okay. Okay, so all it remains for me to say is to please raise your glasses to toast Annie and Ben in having a magnificently golden future ahead together. Annie and Ben.
Cheers.
Sorry, everyone's endured vows and speeches and everything, but there's one more to go, and I won't be too long, I promise. Firstly, I want to say thank you all for coming today. When we were planning the wedding, we just wanted to make sure that there was good food, enough alcohol, and there were good people here. And the food tastes pretty good. The bar's well stocked, and hopefully the third one's all right as well. I should also say a massive thank you to all the Burns, and particularly to Paul and Val for being so welcoming and generous from the day I met you. Paul, even to a Liverpool fan, and I know that can't have been easy. And Val, I think the first 2 times I ever called you was to tell you that Annie was in hospital. So just to put up with me after that, I appreciate that. Thank you. A huge thank you to Mum and Dad as well for always being there for me, and, well, still being there for me, telling me when I've been an idiot, which was more than occasionally, and giving me a load of support and guidance over the years. A special thank you to Mum and Emmy, who have turned Nick's old bedroom into Hobbycraft and done a lot of what you see around here today. So thank you very much for that. Thank you to all the bridesmaids and best men. The bridesmaids look great, and Libby, you've kind of made it awkward when I have to book accommodation in the future, because I was trying to avoid having to book anything with a hot tub, but taking Annie to somewhere with a hot tub and a swimming pool for her hen do has made it really hard, so thanks for that. Nick, Matt and Phil, thank you for organising a fantastic stag and not using it as an opportunity to completely embarrass me, because I tend to do a pretty good job of that myself. So. And I do apologise for how bad I was on the beers. Sunday was not a fun journey home. Whilst immediately afterwards I described it as having survived the stag, looking back I thoroughly enjoyed it. So thank you to all who came and made that so much fun. And for not stitching me up too badly in the speech. As you said, Phil and Matt gave you plenty of ammunition, but you filtered that out. And whatever Matt says later, he's lying. Annie, what can I say? You look incredible today, as you do every day. Even when you go to bed with moisturiser all around your face, you still look great to me. You're always there for me, and today is probably the only day I'll ever admit it, but to say the right thing, from tomorrow I'm right again. Once we finally went on a date, it was clear that you were my best friend, and I was very lucky to have met you. And I feel super lucky today, but to be honest, I feel lucky every day. And now I get to call you my wife, so that's pretty good for me. And I've written down here, I should say a massive thank you for being on time earlier, but why buck a trend, right? You're a little bit late again, so we'll work on that one, yeah? Anyway, a short speech because it's the last one, but Annie, stand up for 1 minute. For us, there were 4 things we wanted to make today a success: the food, the drink, the music, and the guests. But to be honest, the food, the drink, and the music makes today fun, but all of you guys make our lives fun. So to say thank you, from at 7:30, when we've got a few evening guests arriving, we've put a tab behind the bar for you to all have a drink on us, provided Matt's not in the queue in front of you, because otherwise there's no tab left. So enough of my waffling. Just one last thing to say is cheers, everyone, and thank you very much for coming.